Breaking right now. It had to happen. Meghan Markle is being sued after those disastrous bath salts that she put together in With Love Meghan, her Netflix disaster, but they actually turned out to be so toxic, a bit like her personality, that they're actually injuring folk. Now, pretty bad injuries. I'm going to get into this article from Radar Online and reveal their incredible reporting in just one moment. But first, let me bring in royal YouTube sensation according to Taz. Tash, this is no surprise, is it? Because the problem is this is a woman who has done no research, has no scientific backing, and was putting out the most ludicrous ideas. And actually, some of them come with real risks attached.
She basically created a toxic bath bomb, and because there should have been a warning, and I know that there has been, I think one of their representatives has said that the lady in this particular article should know better to not use Epsom salts because she's diabetic. Now there is a bit of a warning with that, but I think it's got a lot more to do with the fact that Meghan, I don't believe that she knew what she was doing because of the oils. And don't ask me why I know this, but with oils that you put into, you know, candles or burners and things, they're fine for that. But to use them like what she was doing, you need to use a carrier oil, which basically it's like plant-based and it makes it safer for human skin contact. And she whacked in so much arnica oil, and I think it was lavender oil, and that was pure. And it's, you know, it's obvious that she doesn't make that regularly. She's never made anything to put on her skin because you would know that. I mean, that is just basic. And with the Epsom salts, yes, of course. I mean, it was, as I said, it was a toxic bath bomb. And I can't imagine that this is going to be the first case of people doing it, because people do sometimes just blindly copy. They should have put a warning up. Maybe they didn't realize at the time, but once that became apparent and people spoke out, Netflix should have covered their bottoms and said, actually, please don't do this at home.
Totally. So I thought this was typical Meghan Markle in so many ways, Tash, because rather than try and sort this out in some type of humane way, given this is a woman, Meghan Markle, who claims to be a humanitarian, right? Who claims to care about her fans, she's just immediately fired back at Rob and Patrick. No phone call, no attempt to solve this, no worry about the fact that watching her show has actually inflicted these shocking physical injuries. And I feel like we're all due an apology for Meghan Markle, any of us who had to sit through With Love Meghan, because it is bad for the health. And I guess this is just proof of it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you there. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the next 8 episodes because I believe the first 8 episodes were the best of a bad bunch.
Oh.
But yes, I mean, her injuries are going to take a long time to heal, especially the fact that she does have diabetes, and it often takes a long time, especially on feet and legs, for those wounds to heal up. But rather than attacking her and saying she should know better because of Epsom salts, I don't believe it was just Epsom salts. If you watch that video, she put in a lot of pure oils, and pure oils like that are not safe to use on the skin. They can cause blistering and burning. And I'm just very surprised that we've not had more people come forward that have said that they have had similar incidents. They would be better off, rather than coming back with an aggressive clapback like that, actually saying now on the Netflix video, putting a warning up for people and to say, do you know what, actually, please don't try this at home. But then that would show that Meghan Markle did something wrong, and we can't ever have that, Dan. She didn't burn the milk on the stove. She didn't do something wrong. Of course not. Meghan never does a thing wrong, including making toxic bath bombs.
Toxic bath bombs, goodness me. Then this week, Tash, there have also been claims from Annabelle Fenwick-Elliott, the highly regarded columnist for publications like the Daily Telegraph, who's become a bit of a TikTok sensation in recent months for her hilarious viral videos taking the piss at Meghan's latest projects. We've played a couple of them here on Outspoken. And she thinks that it's Meghan Markle herself who is targeting her to try and remove her from TikTok, saying, did Meghan Markle just message me? So before I get your reaction to this, Tash, let's have a look at what Annabelle Fenwick told her followers.
Just when it seemed Meghan Markle was trying to rebuild her Hollywood image, a shocking new controversy is now dominating headlines. A Bombshell lawsuit reportedly tied to her with Love TV project is suddenly sparking intense backlash online, with claims involving emotional distress, behind-the-scenes tension, and a staggering $10 million demand. But what exactly happened here? Is this a legitimate legal crisis? Or another example of the internet turning every Meghan controversy into a full-scale media war? Tonight, we're breaking down the entire situation, the lawsuit claims, the public reaction, the media framing, and why this story is exploding across social media right now. Let's get into it. The video immediately sets an extremely dramatic tone. Before any details are even explained, viewers are hit with flashing legal graphics, dark music, and emotionally loaded headlines designed to make the situation feel catastrophic. And honestly, that's become a pattern with Meghan Markle coverage online. Every controversy tied to Meghan now gets framed as either a total public collapse or proof that she's being unfairly targeted yet again.
So, Tash, I mean, we know that her gay makeup artist best friend who features in With Love Meghan, Daniel, is all over people like you because he actually wrote some terrible things about you. Do you think Annabelle Fenwick could be correct, Annabelle Fenwick Elliott could be correct, that this is actually Meghan Markle herself trying to get her removed from social media?
I'm not sure it'd actually be Meghan because she likes to keep her hands clean, but she's got minions. Like Daniel Martin is a minion. And it's clearly obvious that she sends them out like little flying monkeys. And I believe that she's got people in the Sussex squad that also they target people directly. Now, that email, message, whatever, direct message, yes, I mean, these people that defend Meghan are that obsessive, including her friends. I think that she potentially tried to get someone to go after her to loosely threaten her? Yes, absolutely. It was clearly obvious from Daniel's post recently that he is aware of me, my evil, dark soul that I have. So I think Meghan is upset with the number of people that do talk about her. But of course, Anna is completely correct here, where she says that they're public figures. We are allowed to talk about public figures, especially when they shove their faces into the public every single day.
Yeah, it's a very good point, actually. But trust me, Tash, there's no way Daniel, terrified Daniel, who's like, Meghan, your cooking's amazing. Oh my goodness, you're a goddess. Just keep paying me the money and I'm going to keep telling you that you're the most wonderful woman in the world. There's no way Daniel is posting about you and your videos and your YouTube channel on Instagram if Meghan doesn't know about it. You see, so that's where I have my suspicions.
We're being watched.
Yes, we're being watched. We are indeed. Now, Prince Harry's interview this week was astonishing for a whole load of reasons, Tash. I mean, firstly, he claimed that there was some type of establishment stitch-up. Now, given this is a member of the royal family who has had every privilege and who has had the establishment behind him for his entire life, this was pretty bizarre. Watch this. And of course, the BBC, the British Bashing Corporation, as I call it, was so revoltingly one-sided in its coverage, they had to apologise. And there was no difficult follow-up. I mean, this is maybe the closest they went, Tash, when the BBC asked Prince Harry if he will see his father again or allow his children to. I mean, the guy is so stupid and intellectually dishonest, by the way, because, of course, King Charles stepping aside would be interfering. That is the point. But, Tash, just before I get your reaction, I have loved some of the people who are taking on Harry's performance, shall we say, with their own interpretations. This was particularly good from Kevin O'Sullivan of Talk TV fame.
This video clearly leans toward the first interpretation. It presents the lawsuit as something much bigger than just a legal dispute. The creator wants viewers to feel like this is evidence of growing chaos surrounding Meghan's professional life after leaving the royal family. And that context matters. Because ever since Meghan and Harry stepped away from royal duties back in 2020, their entire post-royal career has been watched under a microscope. Every interview, every business deal, every Netflix project, every public appearance instantly becomes global conversation. So when words like lawsuit and emotional distress appear beside Meghan's name, the internet reacts immediately. Now the video begins focusing heavily on the emotional distress claim itself, and this is where the storytelling becomes especially intense. The phrase emotional distress carries enormous emotional weight because it instantly suggests psychological harm, conflict, pressure, and personal suffering. The creator repeatedly emphasizes the amount being demanded, $10 million, because that number alone creates shock value. The video wants viewers emotionally invested before they even fully understand the legal details. At the same time, there's also an attempt to build a larger narrative here. The lawsuit is not presented as an isolated incident. Instead, it's framed as part of a growing pattern of problems surrounding Meghan's Hollywood ventures. And that's where the commentary becomes much more personal. The creator now starts connecting this lawsuit to previous controversies tied to Meghan and Harry's media career. We start seeing references to failed partnerships, criticisms surrounding content deals, public backlash, and rumors about tensions behind the scenes. This is important because the video is trying to establish a bigger emotional storyline. Not just that a lawsuit exists, but that Meghan's entire post-royal brand may be struggling. And honestly, this is why these videos attract millions of views. People are fascinated by rise and fall narratives. They want to know whether Meghan and Harry are successfully building an independent empire outside the monarchy, or whether the pressure of fame and public scrutiny is beginning to damage that image. This next section focuses heavily on online backlash, and the reactions shown are brutal. Comment sections, tweets, and tabloid headlines begin flooding the screen. Some critics claim this lawsuit proves Meghan is difficult to work with. Others accuse her of constantly being surrounded by drama. And then there are viewers defending her completely. They argue that Meghan faces a level of scrutiny that very few public figures experience. They believe every controversy involving her becomes exaggerated because she remains such a polarizing figure. And honestly, that divide is what keeps these stories alive. Because people don't just watch Meghan content anymore. They choose sides. They emotionally invest in the debate. They argue endlessly in comment sections. And the creator understands that perfectly. The video is built to provoke strong emotional reactions, not neutrality.
He's probably worried that the jam's poisoned, Tash. But I mean, when you actually listen to the BBC's questions out of context there, given we've got Kevin O'Sullivan's great performance as Prince Harry, oh my goodness, Tash, no wonder they had to apologise. There was no genuine follow-up. There was no challenging of what were absolute fanciful claims backed up by zero evidence. So a week on from this interview, do you think we can now say that Harry's credibility is forever smashed with the public, who increasingly, Tash, are demanding that King Charles strips them, both Harry and Meghan, of their HRH titles?
I can understand why the public is angry. I mean, in one way, the BBC just showed themselves up. Obviously, like you said, I mean, the lack of actual questions that were fired back to him. I think I heard the other one I heard was when he said there's people in the family that want history to repeat itself, and they're like, oh, that's a bold statement. Oh, you think? But then they didn't double down on it again. They didn't ask any more questions. And this is why mainstream media is completely dying. We don't trust programs like that anymore. We don't really trust the newspapers that much anymore. But with Harry, he doesn't deserve the titles because he doesn't work for the royal family. He's a prince, and let him keep his princely title. But there are some people that want him stripped of that. I believe that the dukedom was only given to them because they were to be working royals, because that's what they told the royal family that they wanted. And we obviously since found out that they were plotting and planning Megxit, possibly, I would say, even before the wedding. So they tricked them into getting what, in a way, I would say, are job titles. If Harry and Meghan had been honest and said, we want to get married, but we want to go to America and explore our own business ventures, which they should have done, and they might have had a bit more respect, and they might have actually still been slightly successful. I mean, their ventures are still boring and terrible, and she still can't act. but at least they would have had that air of like honesty about them. But that's not what they did. They said they wanted to be working roles. They wanted to represent the UK, the Queen, the Commonwealth. And it was all a lie. They just wanted the titles to monetize them. And now that that is clearly obvious and they keep pushing the boundaries every single week, they should be stripped. Now, it's not a decision the king can easily do. He has to instruct Parliament to do it. But the fact that Harry is also blaming the government, the previous government, as well as part of his delusions and his temper tantrum of how everything's not fair, someone's always at fault. I think there is more than enough grounds to actually say to Parliament, he's becoming a bit of a problem.
As the video continues, the focus shifts from the lawsuit itself to Meghan's public image overall. And this is where things become much more symbolic. The lawsuit starts representing something larger. A question about whether Meghan's Hollywood transition is truly working. The creator repeatedly hints that public sympathy may be fading, that audiences are becoming exhausted by constant controversy. And visually, the editing reinforces that narrative by contrasting glamorous celebrity footage with legal headlines and criticism. It creates the impression of a public figure trapped between fame, pressure, and growing backlash. But again, it's important to remember something while watching content like this. A lawsuit being filed does not automatically mean the accusations are true. And online commentary videos often amplify speculation for dramatic effect. But emotionally, the framing is powerful. Because once viewers begin associating someone with repeated controversy, every new headline feels bigger than it actually is. By the end of the video, the creator leaves viewers with a much bigger question than just the lawsuit itself. Is Meghan Markle simply facing the pressures that come with celebrity and media attention? Or is this another sign that her post-royal career is becoming increasingly unstable behind the scenes? And honestly, that uncertainty is exactly what keeps these stories dominating headlines. Because Meghan remains one of the most debated public figures in the world. To some people, she represents independence and resilience. To others, she represents controversy, media obsession, and endless public drama. And every new headline only deepens that divide. But now I want to hear from you. Do you think this lawsuit is being blown out of proportion by the media, or could this become a serious problem for Meghan Markle's public image and Hollywood career? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this full breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dive royal reactions and celebrity controversy coverage. Subscribe for more royal drama and breakdowns bell.